Hello there, this is DBT and these are the rooms. And alright, let's continue playing some more Racing Master. And today, it's my birthday. Yep, that's right, it's DBT's birthday. And I decided to gift myself a little something here in the game. Because you may have seen that there was a new Lambo added in the game, and it may just be the one that started my Lambo love. And I'm gonna unlock it. But also, we're gonna talk about the situation with the game, specifically the Latin American version, and the upcoming release of the global one, because hey, we gotta discuss it. But before I get into any of that, if you enjoy my content, please hit the like button on the video, subscribe. This is free and it helps, but it's very important because it lets me know that you want me to make more content of Racing Master. So again, let me know, like, subscribe, leave me some comments, tell me what you think. Yeah, I want to hear it. Or read it, I suppose. But anyway, as I just mentioned, there is a new car. There's a whole new expo with the new cars. For the extreme class, we have the Mercedes-AMG GT R Coupe 2020. For the sports one, we got the Alfa Romeo 4C Spider. But more importantly, for the regular car, whatever this classification is called, yep, the Lamborghini Diablo SV. Oh my god! In case you don't know, this is the Lambo that started it all for DBT, and I will tell you the story in a second, but for now, I think it's important for us to actually go ahead and drive this car a little bit because we have to. There's, as always, a free try over here at maximum ECU, so yeah, let's do that. So obviously, this is just a free try of the car, as high as it could be, I suppose. Hold on, I want to listen to that engine. All right, that's pretty decent. Again, let's not forget that Lambos at this time did not have what we know by now as the V12 Lambo sound. So it was a different sound, but still, oh man. Yeah, I have to tell you the story about this car, but we'll get to that. But yeah, so this is just a free try of the car, don't worry. I'm actually gonna be trying to unlock the car. Not trying, I will unlock the car because I have enough resources to do so. And yeah, well, as I've said before, I've been saving my diamonds specifically, oh Jesus Christ, but when there's a new Lambo in the game and the day has finally come and it's one of my favorite Lambos, of course I'm gonna do it. Now I'm really surprised to find that this car is in this classification of car because I didn't think this was gonna go into the extreme, but I did think that maybe this was gonna be sports. But you know what? This actually doesn't bother me on the slightest because then I'm gonna have a Lambo for each one of the classes. So yep, that's pretty dope for DBT because reasons. But yeah, I don't know how this car drives, alright? You know that I'm very inexperienced in this game. Like I said in the last video that I did on the game, I kind of had forgotten about this car for a long time. I hadn't played it, hadn't practiced. So I'm slowly rebuilding my experience in it, but again, it's slowly, so we'll see. But, oh boy, I keep on messing up this turn. This track is so easy and I continue to mess it up. Can you tell that I'm rusty? I was never particularly good at the game, but now I'm just worse. It is what it is. Alright, well, at least we got to see now the Lamborghini Diablo, so yay! I get some diamonds for this, but it doesn't matter too much. Now, like I said, I have the resources to unlock this car because, of course, I've been saving my diamonds. You see that I have 52,000, and thinking that this, well, whatever was going to be the next Lambo was going to be of a higher class, I thought that it was going to be a lot more expensive. Now, don't get me wrong, I'm still going to have to spend a lot of my resources, or a bunch of my resources into this, but it's not going to be as much, because in order to unlock the car, well, I'm going to be doing draws over here, right? But of course, there's also the whole thing as to the what do you call it, the pity system, I think? Where you can see over here that after a certain amount of draws, you can get a legendary car guaranteed, which could be this car. Now, to be fair, it doesn't mean that once I hit 100, it's gonna be this car for sure. It could be, and that would be the best case scenario. Well, technically, best case scenario is if I unlock it even before I get there, but regardless, that would be pretty good. But otherwise, the other thing is the exchange system in this game, where basically for every draw that I do, I get 1 point. So that means that in total, I just need to do 120 draws, and then I can just exchange it to acquire this car guaranteed. That is the beautiful part about this, that even if I don't get it by just sheer luck, so long as I have enough resources to do 120 draws, then I can guarantee getting that car. And this is what I was saying, that for higher classes, the exchange is different. This one requires 160, and for the extreme car, it requires like 200 and some? Oh, that was the wrong button. I think it's like 220 or something ridiculous like that. And I know that 240, Jesus. Yeah, I know that because I've done it in the past, but no, thankfully, this time it's not gonna be that expensive, so let's just get to it. Do we skip animations now? We're not gonna skip animations because we are silly like that. Free draw. Oh, I have free ones. Yeah, so first is gonna use my free ones. Yep. Don't remind me for today. Yeah, it's fine. Confirm. All right, so let's start the opening of stuff and see what we get over here. A bunch of repeated stuff for cars that I already have. Now, hold on, because I have 2 loose free ones, so let me do that real quick. That's fine. Wait, isn't there another button to open another one right here? Oh, it's here. I see. And, all right, yeah, sure, whatever, doesn't matter. So, how are we doing? We're 50% into getting a legendary car. We're still considerably far away from actually acquiring the car, because we only have 12 so far. All right, it's fine. We're gonna do it anyway. Insufficient ruby keys. Exchange 1,500 diamonds for ruby key times 10. Yeah, that's the idea. Yes. So yeah, I'm gonna be spending a bunch of my diamonds in this, but it's actually not gonna be that much at the end of the day. So again, this is the cheaper car, so that's fine. And sorry, by the way, for the airplane noises in the background. It's just that it's been pretty hot over here lately, so I do need to have the windows open, which allows a lot more noise to come in, so it is what it is. It's fine. I'm gonna continue opening. Come on. Give me my stuff. Ooh, hello. Oh, wow. All right, that's cool, because that means I just acquired a whole new car in the form of this Challenger. Yeah, so I did get that's an extreme car. Really? I would have thought this was a sport. Anyway, I did get a legendary car. Yeah. This is fine. Yeah, look at that. Very cool. Now that is actually going to reset my legendary counter. So even if I didn't get to 100, because I already drew the legendary, this reset. So that's fine by me. But what I'm more interested, obviously, is getting to this 120. So we're still gonna do that. That means that in this video, we're actually unlocking 2 cars. So that's kind of dope. I'll take it. Yep, this is fine. And all right, let's continue the skip edge over here. We're 62. We're halfway there. All right, another skip, more stuff. Sure. Skip. What is that? Oh, okay. No, that's fine. Come on. Give me something fancy. 92. Okay, we're getting pretty close over here. Pretty close. Come on. Yep, some more additional stuff. All right, we're almost there. Okay, well, now I'm not gonna do 10 more because I don't need 10 more. I actually just need 8 more. So yeah, this is fine. It's fine. Yeah, I heard you. Now what I'm gonna do is just get the 8 spares, but I'm gonna skip the animation because otherwise it's gonna take a while to skip each one of them. So yep. This is fine. Yeah, sure. Yep, all good. Yeah, for sure. Wait, where are we? 117. So we only need 3 more. All right. Yep. Sure. And there we go. All right, that does it. Oh boy, it's happening. Yeah. Oh man, I have some stories to tell you about this car, but it's time. Let's get my Lamborghini Diablo Super Veloce. Let's go, Papa! Woo! Oh, look at it. Yeah. Listen, this makes me happy, all right? It does make me happy. Because, yeah, this is indeed the car that made me fall in love with Lamborghini as a brand. And obviously, that is a love that has, been with me for a long time. And it has fed my obsession for racing games and whatnot. Yeah, come on. All right, that's good enough. Hold on, I want to look at it. So I wanted to have a look as if I could edit this car, modify it and whatnot. So I went into the more customization, looking for being able to apply some parts, but no, actually you can't. The car is basically gonna stay like that. Though there is a body kit available for the car, and I'll say it certainly looks pretty cool. All right, look at that. Yeah, it looks dope. But yeah, I'll say I was hoping I was gonna be able to edit the car, change the wing and all of that. But hey, still, it's my beautiful Lamborghini Diablo. Come on, someone ought to have made an SB decal just with the SB letters over here. Come on. Oh yeah, look at this. All right, that's cool. The white one with the red letters, though I'm looking more for the yellow with black letters. But okay, let me look at what people have done. All right, so it doesn't seem to have a lot just yet. Because, well, I mean, this car is pretty new in the game, of course, but should I go for any of this? Mansory Diablo, wow, that's cool. But no, okay, I think this is kind of dope though, so maybe I should do that. Look at it. I mean, I don't love that it says Diablo down here, but It looks pretty good, pretty good. But do you see this ridiculousness? This is what I wanted to do. Have a Lambo in each one of the classes so that no matter which race I get into, it's gonna be a Lambo. Oh yeah, let's find some races. Well, we're started with the SBJ because you know how this game is. You cannot control which races you want to get into. It's fine. I'm still gonna drive a Lambo, so that makes me happy. Now, the whole reason for my absolute ridiculous obsession with the Lamborghini Diablo Super Veloce, and this is a story that I've told a bunch of times, so if you watch my asphalt content, you already know the story. But if you're newer over here, well, you might as well hear it. What happens is that when DBT was young, DBT was not into racing games, but my brother, who's older than me, was gifted a game of Need for Speed 3 Hot Pursuits. But he wasn't actually interested in playing that game, so I ended up playing myself. And over there, it was the first racing game that I played that actually had like licensed cars and whatnot. Not that I cared much for it, but that was my first introduction to some real brands. And over there was Lamborghini. And the first Lambo that I saw over there was the Lamborghini Countach, which was, you know, it's a Lambo, it's nice and all of that, but I didn't find it like super amazing. It was cool looking, but it looked a little bit old school, because again, I'm talking about the late 90s when I got into this whole thing, right? So the Countach did look a little bit dated. It looked retro cool even back then. But the main Lambo, and it was actually like the poster car for the game, was the Lamborghini Diablo. Once I saw it in the game, I was like, what is this and why do I love it so much? That car alone was what made me fall in love with the brand of Lamborghini, and that is why that car remains to be, to this day, one of my favorite Lambos. I wouldn't go as far as to say that it's, whoa, Jesus Christ, one of the most beautiful Lambos out there, because yeah, obviously it's not exactly that, but it still is a very important one to me. And again, for a young guy in the late 90s, yeah, that car looked absolutely crazy. I love the way that it looked, and yep, that's what got Lamborghini embedded in my mind, in that car in particular. So yeah, it matters to DBT. Woo! My first race ever with my Diablo. Well, you know, after I own it. Yeah, granted, it's at stock, but you know, I have the RP0 for this car, so I should be racing against opponents that are not going to be as difficult as, you know, with higher RP, so I should be fine. But look at it, look at it. Now, like I said, obviously the design by now in 2026, it looks pretty dated, but it makes sense because this is a car from the 90s, all right? So of course it's gonna look dated. But remember that back in the day, oh Jesus Christ, DBT was young and this car was fresh. It looked super cool, so yep, I fell in love with it. In fact, here's the funny thing about that story, right? Because that game really got me into racing, into Lambos, but then I completely forgot about both racing and Lambos for many, many years. It took a lot of years, like well over a decade and a half, maybe a little bit longer, for DBT to actually get back into racing games. And well, you may or may not know the story of DBT rekindling his love with racing games and whatnot. But I'll tell you that the Lamborghini obsession remained. And I was actually really interested to find Lamborghini Diablos in other games that I would play as well. Though, unfortunately, this is a Lambo that in general was not super popular over time. So not a ton of games really featured it. But that has started to change because Lamborghini Diablos are being appreciated, both in the sense of, oh, I appreciate the car more now, and also in monetarily appreciation, that they are starting to go up in prices because people are realizing that the Diablos were a pretty cool car from their time, even if they're kind of clunky and a little bit dated by now, but you know, kind of classical cars. But yeah. So hold on, I hate this part because over here is just like a straight line in the map, well, you know, in the track itself, but in the mini map it looked like a, I don't know, like a much more pronounced turn, but okay, whatever. Jesus Christ! Okay, whatever, it's fine, listen, I like hitting the walls. I didn't say I was good at the game, all right? It's fine, but at the very least, that's gonna be my first race with this car. It's gonna be a beautiful. Now, with that out of the way, unlocking the car and talking a little bit about why I love the Lamborghini Diablo, it's time to talk about this game and the Latin American version of it, you know, the one that I'm playing right now. Because apparently something weird is happening with this. And, you know, in my Discord server, the House of Room, links is on the description. We talk from time to time about the game, and, you know, I poke around and they're like, okay, so what's going on? And I was really excited again to see that the Lamborghini Diablo was being added and whatnot. But then I started learning that something weird is happening when it comes to Racing Master Latin America version. We have this little bit of a theory that maybe they're preparing to shut this down, specifically the Latin American version. Now, this is not officially confirmed or anything, this is just a speculation, but there's some strangeness in the fact that, for example, the Latin American Discord server was removed from their links on their official, I don't know if it was in the website or in the official Discord server for like a more global version, I don't know. But then there's also the change that now we're gonna lose the PC version of the game. Because in case you don't know, right now I'm playing the PC version, which as far as I understood was like an emulated version, like a specifically Racing Master developed emulated version of the game so you could play it on PC. But apparently they said like, no, actually we're no longer gonna be supporting this because of technical reasons. They didn't go into any more details. And now they're suggesting or advising people to download an emulator called Mumu, I think, in order to be able to still play this game on PC. Now that is something that I'm gonna have to do one way or another because, well, I mainly play this game on PC. I do play it on mobile from time to time, but in order to make content over here, well, I have to do it on PC where it looks better and it's easier to record and all of that stuff, right? But now that apparently this version of the game, the PC version, is gonna be discontinued, now I'm gonna have to look into going for the emulator. Now, I want to make it really clear that all of this I'm saying is just a speculation, all right? Don't go out quoting me saying that, no, DBT actually said that this is what's going to happen. No, I don't really know. But again, it does seem to be a little bit weird in the way that they're doing things. Again, removing the Latin American Discord, sub-Discord, I suppose, invite or link from their main Discord. I don't know, that's kind of weird. The fact that they're shutting down the PC version, now that doesn't seem to be related specifically to Latin America, because you know that you could also download the PC version for other regions as well. So I would imagine those are being discontinued as well over time. But I don't know, it's just kind of weird. Though there is something to be said about the fact that, as you may know, the quote-unquote global version of the game is gonna be launching next month, early next month in May. So that is kind of hype, because actually I learned that apparently I was under the impression that the release was gonna be exclusively like a North American release of Racing Master, which put me in a bit of a situation where it's like, man, do I focus on the Latin American version or do I move to the North American version? But I don't know how split is the player base gonna be. But then I learned earlier the other day that it's actually not gonna be just North America, but it's also gonna be Europe, Middle East, and apparently North Africa as well. So it's gonna be quite a bunch of regions covered by this new release, the quote-unquote global one. So now I'm thinking like, man, maybe they're indeed trying to just slowly phase out the Latin American version to absorb the player base into the global, quote-unquote global version. Honestly, I wouldn't be too upset about that, except the part that does bother me, it's the idea that all of the progress that I've made in this version is probably gonna go to waste. Because here's what I'm thinking. Once they launch the new version, the quote-unquote global version, I'm just gonna call it global. I do imagine that they're gonna be starting again from scratch in that specific version with a few, well, you know, with a small amount of cars available and all that. And little by little start adding the new cars, so on and so forth, right? Basically like they did with the Latin American version and other versions as well. You know that depending on the region that you're on, if you were playing like the Japanese version or the Chinese version, they're in different stages of the development of the game with all the cars and so on and so forth, right? So I would imagine that's exactly what's gonna happen with the global version. And if that is the case, well, I don't believe that I'm gonna be able to like transfer my progress. I mean, I don't know that they would even give us the option to transfer the progress from one version to another. I kind of doubt it. But then again, if they're gonna be completely different versions at different stages of the, let's say, life of Racing Master, yeah, that's probably not gonna happen. So if I were to indeed move into the global or move to the global version, then I would have to kind of abandon this version. Now, I could keep it alive for as long as this server still exists and, you know, visit it from time to time. But in my best interest, I should instead just go for the global version, and that's gonna mean once again saving my resources and hope to unlock the cars, so on and so forth. Which again, it wasn't super difficult to do in this Latin American version, and maybe starting from scratch in a new version would allow me once again to unlock a bunch of cars relatively easily and whatnot. But that doesn't take away all of the days that I did my daily tasks to get the diamonds, to unlock the cars and so on. But you know, I'm willing to do that if indeed this new version is going to have a bigger player base and it's not going to be a version that they abandon after a while. I'm just saying. I don't know. Again, I am not up to date with the news regarding to this game, so that's why I cannot say anything with any level of certainty like, no, actually they're planning to do this. All I can do is speculate. So if anybody watching this video right here knows more about this whole thing, has better insight into what is happening with the game, do let me know in the comments, because I would love to learn some more and have a better picture as to what is happening with the game and whether or not I should quit the Latin American version and instead move to the global one. I don't know. Again, it's gonna be a matter of seeing what happens over time. But hey, at the end of the day, I'm still interested in the game. Yeah, I did abandon it for a couple of months because I was busy doing other stuff and whatnot. But once I made a video of this game, was it last week or the week before? Man, I was like, man, I really like this game. Why did I ever abandon it? I don't know. I really like the way that this game plays. It is a little bit overwhelming, you know, this type of like hyper gacha games with a ton of a gajillion mini currencies and events and whatnot. But I guess it's a matter of patience, learning the ins and outs of those mini games and how the game sets them up and all of that stuff. Get used to it and then, you know, just enjoy it. But when it comes at least to the racing and the cars and all of that, like I said in the videos that I made way in the past on this game, I do appreciate the absolute love for cars that is displayed in this game, with all of the details of the cars, like all of the information provided on the cars, the data, the cockpit view and all of that. Man, there's a lot of this game to enjoy. I also like the gameplay that, while it's a bit more drifty than I would like, I was hoping this game was gonna be more grip oriented. It's not bad. I mean, you can still do some grip racing, but I do believe that doing drift is the better way of doing the races over here. But hey, what do I know? Nothing. That's what I know. But yeah, if you have more information on the game, what is happening, some thoughts on this whole topic, do let me know in the comments, because I would love to get some input from you guys. If you want to see some more content of the game, and maybe I indeed should move into the global version of the game once it releases, so that more of the viewership over here in the channel may want to join us. Who knows, maybe at some point we could even do some multiplayer on this game. I don't know, I'm just saying, it could be a possibility. But alright, that's gonna do it for this video. Again, I'm really happy to finally unlock the Lamborghini Diablo Super Veloce, one of my favorite Lambos. And hey, I saved my diamonds for it and I got them. Very well used. Well, that's all. Thank you for watching. See you on the next one. Bye-bye.